Hi everyone and welcome to a new Studio Katia video showcasing the Whimsical Town stamp set and its coordinating dies. This set features 23 different image stamps, 2 border stamps and 8 sentiment stamps that can be combined to create lots of different card designs. If you want to see a full demo of this stamp set, head over to the Studio Katia YouTube channel, where you will also find a slightly different version of this tutorial. Otherwise, let's get started. I created my background on a strip of Bristol Smooth cardstock by Strathmore, and I did some ink blending with Distress Oxides in Blueprint Sketch and Shaded Lilac. I want most of my panel to be covered in this Shaded Lilac Distress Oxide, and I want to keep the Blueprint Sketch just towards the bottom. And I will be going back and forth between the two until I achieve a nice and smooth gradient. Once I am happy with the result, I can add a few water droplets to my background, let them react with the oxides for a few seconds, and then dab them off with a paper towel. I then went ahead and started coloring my images. These are stamped on some Nina Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I'll be using my Spectrum Noir markers to color them in. There is quite a bit of coloring for this card, and I didn't think you'd need to see me color every single house, so I selected the few that sort of showcased the different color combinations that then I went ahead and used on the other houses as well, hoping to give you a little bit of an overview in case you want to replicate something like this. And I used warm neutrals to achieve a nice contrast with my colder background, so I mostly stuck to browns and warm grays. I am starting from my darker color, blending it out with the mid-tone, and then finally adding the lightest shade, and I am shading everything as if the light source comes from the top right of the screen. I will now play some music while I color the rest of the images, and I will catch you guys when it's time to put the card together. And this is how the images look once they are all colored in. I also went ahead and colored a couple of clouds, which will help me set the scene. And now I can go ahead and start actually assembling my scene by adhering the houses on the background. For some added interest, I am going to adhere some of the houses flat, and I am going to pop up some of them using some 3M foam tape. I decided to use foam tape on the house on the far left, on the one in the center with the big clock, and on the penultimate one on the right, so that I have alternating flat and raised elements on the front of the card, and this adds even more movement to the card itself. And I also decided to use foam tape on the larger cloud and to have the smaller one laying flat on my card. Because the card front will be pretty busy, I decided to have the sentiment directly inside my card. So I used the "There is no place like home" sentiment, and I am also dressing up the card inside with some more of those cute houses, which I am stamping with grey ink. I am using some craft foam and a tape runner to raise my panel on top of the card base. And I am carefully placing it so that I have two narrow strips left above and below the panel. I partially filled those spaces with some grey cardstock strips, and then I added lots and lots of Studio Katia iridescent bubbles all over my sky. And when I do something like this, I first lay all of my embellishments down on my card front, play around with the arrangement, and only once I am happy with the look of it, I go ahead and actually adhere them down. And in this case, I am using Ranger Multimedium Matte and a Pick Me Up tool to help me glue down these beautiful iridescent bubbles that are just perfect for this card. And to finish off this card, I am adding some white highlights using a white gel pen. This is the Unibo Signo white gel pen, and I am pretty much adding them all over the place. And that will finish off my card. And that's it for today. Thank you all so much for watching this video featuring the Studio Katia Whimsical Town stamps and coordinating dies. In the description box below this video here on YouTube, you will find a list of the products used to make this card, as well as links to the Studio Katia store and blog. Once again, thank you all so much for stopping by and have a great day!